It's my pleasure now to introduce the first Hong Kong-born player to be inducted into the Hall of Fame. After emigrating to Canada, he began his illustrious lacrosse career in his adopted home of Cornwall at the age of 11. By the time he was 16, he was not only playing for the Junior B Wildcats of the Oshawa Jr League, he was captaining the team. In 1965, at the age of 17, he captained the Wildcats Senior B team of the Quebec Senior League to the President's Cup final. The following year, he was again playing junior and led the Wildcats to a 20-0 season and a berth in the Castrol Cup final in Port Arthur, where they were defeated 2-1 by the powerful New Westminster Athletics. In 1968, he relocated to Oshawa, and legendary coach Jim Bishop soon came calling. He joined the vaunted Green Gaels in Oshawa Green Gaels in 1968 and played his last 2 years of junior with them in 68. In 68, he racked up 55 points while dominating the face-off circle and helping the Gaels to their 6th consecutive Minto Cup. But he really blossomed in 1969. He amassed 56 goals and added 95 assists for a remarkable 151 points in only 24 games, a pace of nearly 6.5 points per game. He led his team in scoring, finished second in league scoring, and was awarded the Ken Ross Trophy for Ability and Sportsmanship while leading the Gaels to a 4-0 sweep of Vancouver and a 7th Minto Cup. He graduated to the major ranks in 1970 and played his first 2 seasons in Brooklin, being picked up by Peterborough for the 1970 Mann Cup and winning first-team All-Star honors in 1971. He played his final major season in 1972, joining his former coach Jim Bishop in Windsor, and helped the team to a national championship berth, albeit an unsuccessful one, in New Westminster. He then joined the Toronto Tomahawks of the fledgling National Lacrosse League in 1974 as their top draft choice, and concluded his lacrosse career the following year with the Boston Bolts. Already a member of the Canadian Lacrosse and Oshawa Sports Halls of Fame as a part of the Green Gaels, he was inducted into the Ontario Lacrosse Hall of Fame as a player in 2013. Tonight we welcome him to yet another Hall of Fame. Please welcome Chuck Lee.
I want to give you a brief history of my first year. In the late 50s, the city of Cornwall started minor lacrosse. They had to combine 2 age groups to get enough players to form a league, 6 teams. Nobody wore equipment in those days. All you needed was a lacrosse stick. My first game was the first time I saw a lacrosse stick, and because I didn't have a lacrosse stick, I volunteered to be a goalie. As a goalie, they dressed me up like a baseball catcher. No gloves, no shoulder pads. The good thing was the belly pad covered most of my body. After about 5 or 6 games, and having lost every game by a big score, my coach, Omer Giroche, took me aside after the game and told me that I was already out of the running for the veteran trophy, and he wanted to replace me. That was the end of my goalie career and the beginning of my lacrosse career. 2 coaches that made a big difference in my life. Norm McCrimmon, my Cornwall Wildcat coach. I mentioned to him that I was planning on moving to the Toronto area the following year. And I had no plans on playing lacrosse there. He suggested and enticed me to move to the Oshawa area. He told me I would have to miss a full year, so because of the old LA rules. I took the gamble, not knowing if they would still want me after the missing of the year, not knowing if I was going to be good enough to help the team. Norm McCrimmon made all the arrangements. All I had to do was take a long bus ride from Cornwall to Oshawa. Jim Bishop, my Oshawa Green Gael coach, Mr. Lacrosse, a coach that was way ahead of his time. There are many ways to describe Jim. His team had so many good players that it was very easy for me to improve and develop my game. Jim was the one coach that was always able to push me to be the best that I could be. I think that was one of his big strengths. As you can see, these two coaches made a big difference in my life. To all the inductees, congratulations. I know how I felt when I heard the news. Thanks to the Hall of Fame committee for their support. I believe my journey as a lacrosse player is now complete. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, Chuck Lee. Where is he? There he is, Chuck Lee.